I moved to Florida like wanting to be a lifeguard. So I did eventually do that. I did at Universal first, and then I worked at Disney's water park and some of their hotels as well.
Yeah.
So
What's
they're
okay?
fun.
What's it like being a lifeguard in one of these big major theme parks?
It's fun. Both parks have very different like training, I
Yeah.
guess. So
What's the
um,
training like? Extensive or non-extensive?
it's very extensive
Okay,
actually.
that's good to hear.
Yeah, and with the job, like you have to upkeep. I forget what it's called. They just call it in service, but basically you keep up proficiencies every month. So every month I have to go in 2 hours before park open and just do like CPR practice and other like rescuing practice.
Yeah.
And they'll like go over things where like if something had happened the previous month where like someone got hurt in a pool, they would make sure people knew how to get them out of the pool the right way.
Yeah.
I guess.
How to handle those situations.
Yeah.
What's the most like normal annoyance as a lifeguard at a major theme park, whether it's Universal, Disney, whatever? Like, what are the common things people are doing to mess with lifeguards, or that you have to resolve?
Honestly, drunk parents, I think.
Drunk
is
parents.
The worst.
Okay.
Yeah, the amount of kids, like, specifically at the volcano one that I was working at, like, little kids, if you're under 4 foot, like, you have to have a life jacket on.
Yeah.
And so the parents would just be at the bar, and they'd just ditch their kids. So, like, how do I enforce making them wear it if the parent doesn't even know? There was a girl who, like, came in the pool 3 or 4 times and would take the life jacket off after I, like, made her put it on.
Yeah.
And would continue to drown once the waves turned on, so...
God damn, yeah. What do you do? Just let them die at that point? Like,
no, you just jump in every single time.
you have to save them every
It's
time.
great,
Like,
yeah.
hey, I wouldn't have to keep doing this, man.
I'm like, you understand what's happening every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
So
that's frustrating. Any kids like poop in the pool? That's, I feel like, gotta be common.
I'd say once a day.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Really?
We would close, yeah.
How fast do you guys have to get that cleaned up?
It depends. They have specific people who do like the water testing, and so it's their call. But I'd say it takes 20 minutes at the minimum.
Yeah.
So we would just close the wave pool. The rest of the pools would be open, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
Ever
Yeah.
get a mess like that on a slide or something? Like, any kid ever shit their pants? That's what I feel like. That's okay. That's something that I have feared as a child. Like, maybe I kind of had to go, but I'm having a good time with the homies, and I don't want to get it. I just waited in line. Sometimes it's a ridiculous amount of time at a theme park to get to this ride, and me and the homies are getting a 3-person tube, and I'm sitting in the front.
There's a skid
I'm
mark
holding
or
that in.
something.
I don't want to shit, right? But it could have happened. I could see it happening to somebody.
I have never seen it on the slides per se, but part of like our training is if we see anything that looks like it in the pool,
Yeah.
we have to grab it with a glove.
Whoa.
So the one time I did see it, I was deep enough that my face had to go under, which was horrible. But yeah, I grabbed it and it was, so there was that.
What was the texture of it? Was it a soft poop, or was it like a hard turd?
It's very like Little Debbie-esque, you know.
It's probably a small person.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. They gotta be careful too, because they serve pretty good food at these theme parks, but I'm sure it's not good for you.
Yeah, no.
You
There's
know?
no way. I don't know if they ever served chili, but definitely pizza and stuff like that.
Yeah, greasy poops. That's good. What do you ever like? You have to stop people from like fighting, or like what other shit? Like, something I try to do at every water slide I've ever been on is stop myself. I feel like everybody and if somebody tells me that they've never done that, they're lying, because I go down the slide with the homies, even just by myself. Sometimes what happens is I go and I know my friend's behind me, so I'm like, oh, I want to try to stop myself so my friend will catch up to me. It never happens, but it's always like a hope that
my
maybe I can
gosh.
hold myself on the wall long enough.
There's this story I heard one time.
Okay.
It's kind of a tangent. In California in the 90s, like a high school, I think, was doing like their senior trip or whatever to this water park. And 40 kids did that. And the slide actually collapsed. And they all fell out of it. But this never happened at my
God
ride. So
damn, bro.
there's a reason they don't
Jesus
do it. Yeah.
Christ.
There's like
Yeah.
obviously weight limits and stuff. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Water parks are crazy, man. Something about a water park. I mean, I haven't been to one as an adult, or at least not in a long time. But something about a water park as a, like, teen just made me want to do fuck shit.
Yeah.
Like I just got there and I'm like,
It's
I
a
got the
lawless
itch.
land, kinda.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to do something wrong. I don't know what it is. Like,
I'm itching for crime.
yeah, dude. Like I'm just trying to do like where is the line and how do I get right up on the line?
Yeah, I know for sure after working there, like I would never let my parents go, just from like how many people I see get hurt and stuff on the slides. So, I mean, and the water's just gross, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they're pumping it with so many chemicals. Like
They are, but like, you know, if you put a Band-Aid over a fart, does that make it go away?
I don't think anyone can put a Band-Aid over a fart.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm saying.
elusive. Yeah. I don't know if that's the same thing at all. Actually,
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, what else goes wrong at a water park, or what's like your least favorite part about? We'll get into the best in a second, but what's like the worst part about working in a water park?
The worst part, it's honestly still the drunk people,
Just
but
drunk
like
people.
even out of the water, I remember because I also have worked security at one of the water parks, and so there was one point where we like threw a family of 11 out because they were screaming at each other in line for food, and so it was like it was like 2 separate families that were together with like strollers and babies and stuff. It was.
What were they fighting about?
I don't even know. I think they were just drunk.
How do you kick 11 people out of a water park? Like how many of you did you need to kick 11
There was
people?
probably 10 security guards, but the first thing we do is call the police too.
Oh,
so
okay.
they'll
cheating.
write them like a trespass for that. Of course it is.
That's not fair. You should
Of course
do it.
it is.
Yeah.
They have their own zip code. Of course they're gonna call the police.
I got so much rage built up. That's why I could never be a security guard, because if I got that moment where someone was really testing me and I was like, you guys got to leave, and they were like, make us, I'd be like, thank you. And then some dangerous things would happen. I would be like, let's fucking go. Okay, so that's fair. You call the cops. That is cheating, but I get it. It's safer probably that way.
Yeah.
And you just like walk them out. You just escort them out. Dude, that would suck. Could you imagine like paying to go to one of these big theme parks for 11 people and then getting kicked out? Like, you are so stupid to waste your money doing that.
I know.
Thanks for watching that last video, guys. Click right over here to see the episode in its entirety. Or click over here to subscribe and check out all the other cool shit we have on the channel. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Do it.